It's a good bounce back win for us today. I thought we started the game with the right tone on the defensive end, and so that was that was by design.
Number 22. Two digits that just brought a long-running power struggle inside USA basketball out into the open. The coaching staff didn't hold a vote. They didn't check in with the veterans. They simply handed Caitlin Clark her number. And by doing that, they sent a message to everyone in that program without saying a word. This isn't just about a jersey. In a locker room where Olympic gold medal veterans have spent years earning the right to choose their numbers, that pecking order shifted in one move. The same leadership group that left Clark off the Paris roster. The same voices that publicly questioned for months whether she was ready for the highest level. Now they're watching her walk into camp wearing the number that became synonymous with her at Iowa. And here's the part most coverage keeps skipping. That number didn't just come from the coaching staff. It came with corporate weight behind it. If you're already seeing connections that haven't been talked about elsewhere, stay with this. Because this runs deeper than people think. Let's rewind to where this really started. When the Olympic roster dropped without Clark's name, the explanation sounded polished: chemistry, experience, physical play overseas, fit within an established system. On the surface, it made sense. But people close to the situation have suggested the decision wasn't purely about basketball. There was a belief inside the old guard that popularity shouldn't fast-track influence. The idea was to remind the league's newest star that seniority still mattered. Instead, it backfired. While Team USA won gold in Paris in front of crowds that didn't exactly break attendance records, Clark was back in the States doing something the women's game had never seen at that scale. She was selling out arenas, driving television ratings to record levels, moving merchandise faster than stores could restock it. Fans who had never planned their weekends around women's basketball were suddenly building Sundays. Around the Indiana Fever, USA Basketball saw all of it. And internally, there was a realization this wasn't just a cultural misread. It was a financial one. In pro sports, financial mistakes get corrected fast. What followed, according to people familiar with the situation, wasn't some casual invitation extended from a position of strength. It was a negotiation. And Clark walked in with leverage. The audience. The momentum. A rookie season that statistically dismantled most of the arguments used to justify leaving her off the Paris roster. And then there's the piece that doesn't get talked about enough: Nike. Clark's deal, based on widely reported figures, is among the biggest in women's sports history. When a company that size builds a global campaign around one athlete and one specific jersey number, that number becomes more than preference. It becomes brand identity. When marketing campaigns, retail programs, and nine-figure merchandise strategies are built around 22, it makes no business sense to showcase her internationally in something else. Number 22 isn't random for her. It's stitched into her brand. It's tied to her Iowa legacy, where she rewrote record books and helped elevate women's college basketball to a different level of national attention. When investments reach that scale, details like jersey numbers don't get left to chance. Now think about what that means inside the locker room. There are players there who spent a decade grinding overseas, fighting for roster spots, winning medals in environments that didn't always generate headlines or revenue. They followed every step of the traditional path. Then a second-year player walks in and receives what used to take 10 years to earn. That tension doesn't disappear just because everyone shares the same uniform. We've already seen flashes of it. Hard fouls that felt a little extra. Camera shots catching reactions when players forgot they were being filmed. Podcast comments from decorated veterans carefully questioning how Clark's impact is measured. Those moments weren't random, and assigning her number doesn't erase them. The coaching staff confirmed the decision publicly anyway. That confirmation says a lot. It suggests the conversations behind closed doors have already happened. A direction has been chosen. They've made it clear where this program is heading toward 2028 from a basketball standpoint. The case is hard to argue. Clark led the Fever in assists as a rookie. She broke records analysts thought would stand for years. She helped push a franchise from projected lottery territory into the postseason. Her court vision, range, and willingness to take big shots changed defensive schemes nightly. The debate about whether she can handle elite international competition feels settled. The 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles will be the biggest stage women's basketball has ever had on home soil. This roster isn't being built around resume loyalty. It's being built around maximizing dominance in front of that audience. Imagine Clark initiating the offense. A'ja Wilson anchoring inside as one of the most dominant post players in the world. Breanna Stewart stretching the floor with her versatility. Clark's passing range forces defenses to extend far beyond the arc. Help rotations stretch. The paint opens. Opposing coaches are left solving problems that don't have clean solutions. Students of the game have seen generational shifts before. When the spotlight moved from Magic and Bird to Jordan, it wasn't smooth. There were egos. There was friction. Pride doesn't fade quietly. But the transition was necessary. What followed was dominance. Right now, women's basketball appears to be in its own version of that shift. The jersey number is symbolic. It's a marker in the ground signaling that leadership is evolving. For months, media voices debated whether Clark's popularity truly translated to importance. Now number 22 is being positioned globally as part of the sport's future identity. That's a significant turn. The pressure on her is real. If Team USA struggles, criticism will come quickly. But history shows a consistent pattern with Clark. As the stakes rise, so does her focus. She doesn't shrink in big moments. She expands. At every level, she's eventually become the central figure of the program she's in. A player once told to wait has, in a short span, shifted the timeline. Number 22, the number from Iowa, the number tied to major brand investment. The number that quietly resolved the power struggle inside USA basketball is now set to represent the country on the world stage. The skepticism has softened. The doubt has adjusted. An institutional decision has been made. And recent history suggests one thing clearly: betting against Caitlin Clark hasn't worked out well.